They're trying to find it in someone or something outside of themselves. That's a fundamental mistake. Happiness is something that you are, and it comes from the way you think. We cannot choose the things that will happen to us, but we can choose the attitude we will take toward anything that happens.
I wanted to see what makes people happy, and I wanted to see what people did to plan for the future in order to make them happy. And I wanted to see if people were to reflect back on previous plans and people were to look back at things that they did in the past, what would their thoughts be on how those things led them to their happiness? Were they helpful in making them happy? And did they get thrown off their course a little bit, and they're sort of trying to find their way back to a place that will make them happy? And I just wanted to get people's general ideas on happiness, because a lot of the times we talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of topics that people want to bring up and talk about, especially in the media, about politics and the economy and societal differences and oppression, and there's so many more, and you always see them, but you never see anything about happiness, and you never get to see anything about how people feel. One of the things that makes human beings so great is our ability to feel, and so I thought, why not ask people about their feelings and their happiness? Because it's good to think about it and good to take a moment and look at where we are in life, because a lot of the times we don't take that second to slow down and to really think about how our lives are going to be affecting our state of happiness. I do feel that we spend a lot of time chasing it and looking for it and searching for it, but I don't know if we spend a lot of time with ourselves thinking about it and really thinking about not necessarily what's going to make us happy, what are the things that are going to make us happy, but how are we going to make ourselves happy. So what I did is I decided to go out and interview people. Two of the groups that I decided to interview were seniors in high school and adults, because seniors in high school are the closest you can get to philosophers. And the reason why I say that is because high schoolers, seniors in particular, have been thinking about their lives. They've been thinking so much about what's going to make them happy. What are they going to do in life that's going to make them happy? Their career choice, their college choice, their financial decisions. How can I, arrange them in the perfect manner so that I can find happiness? And so they've been thinking about it. And so they're the closest you can get to philosophers, because they've been spending time thinking and not doing schoolwork. And I also interviewed adults, because adults have been spending their lives doing what seniors have been thinking about doing. Seniors have been thinking about, their whole lives ahead of them, and adults are currently living it. So my thinking was that by interviewing those two groups, a group that is thinking so much about their future, and a group that is currently living their lives and not necessarily thinking so much about the future, that I'll be able to get a good understanding of what makes people happy and happiness in a person's life. Because you can only read so much and you can only study so much to enrich your life, but to actually find richness, I think one of those ways is through people. And so my conversations with people and me talking to people have been probably one of the best experiences. And a lot of what people say has been eye-opening.
What makes you happy?
Sleeping and eating and watching Netflix.
My dogs and sleeping. Oh, and I'm quitting my job. That's really exciting.
Stuff, being outside and being active. I like to, even if it's actively thinking or something, I like doing work and being outside, hiking, climbing, swimming, sailing, doing physics.
My family, my friends, my dog, Broadway. Nice people make me happy. Like, just legitimately kind and, like, yeah, just, like, thoughtful people make me happy. Like, I work in food service, and mean people literally can ruin my day, even if I'm only interacting with them for 10 seconds. But just nice people who are, like, just, like, kind to someone for no particular reason just like makes my day. So like interacting with really nice people makes me happy.
What makes me happy? You like didn't give me time to think about this. This is such a like a big question. Okay. Meaningful relationships. I think if improvement, like self-improvement, leads to a sense of happiness, like a genuine sense of happiness. But I think mostly I find happiness personally in relationships and talking about meaningful things with people who I care about.
What makes you happy?
My kids, my husband, my work, my garden, sleep, and the days when I feel like I've done a little bit of good in the world, whether it be for myself or for somebody else.
It depends. I mean, professionally, succeeding, having students respond to my teaching, so things actually going the way that they're supposed to. Personally, being able to hang out with my friends and loved ones and whatnot. Yeah.
What makes you happy?
Well, I think about that a lot, and it's changed many times throughout my life, and I'm pretty happy that I don't actually choose what makes me happy. It chooses me. So when I'm really joking around with my daughters, then I know I'm happy. So that's really rewarding to experience. Whereas a lot of times we fabricate. We're like, oh, people tell me I must be happy when I'm doing this, so I must be happy right now because I'm doing that. But when you're really happy, I think it fills you. It's a sensation, a deep sensation. So for most of my life, I would say it wasn't real happiness.
What do you think will make you happy, and what is your view on what will make you a happy person?
I think what will make me happy is like being surrounded by people that are like fun to be around and that like I love, and like being able to like afford to like go and do the things I want to do without like worrying about it too much.
You know, I feel like I'm going into the physics, so there's not going to be much money, but it's something I like. So I think that'll make me happy, and I don't really care to live a luxurious lifestyle. I'm okay with being a little bit more low down. As long as I get free time, I can do what I want, you know, with it, and I can be happy.
Find my passion in life, which I yet do not know. Because you need to be comfortable financially, where it's not stressing you out. Stress is what kills happiness, and you know, when you have a certain amount of money, you have nothing to worry about. That's when I feel like, you know, you can really go from this happiness to that happiness. You know?
If I'm surrounded by people that I love, then I'll be okay, you know? Because that's like, you'll be fine if you're surrounded. Like, being around people you like is like enough, really, in the end, to me. And then also finding something meaningful to do, hopefully. But I don't know specifically. I'm going to NYU, and there, hopefully I'll find people. It's all a bunch of hopefullys.
Right now, my goal is to be involved in education somehow. And then that brings me happiness because some of my favorite people have been my teachers. And I want to be that person for another generation. Like, my goal as, like, if I do become a teacher, my goal is to be the perfect mix between Glasser and Quirk. I think that's my goal.
So when you were a senior in high school, what was your plan for happiness?
Okay, so I was going to go to college. I was going to get out of my house, my parents' house, I guess I should say. I was going to do well in school. I wasn't just going to go there, I was going to do well. And I was going to have a happy social life, like friends or a boyfriend or, stuff to do. That's definitely the way I would have defined it.
I guess I thought I would major in business in some way. And I don't actually, I think I knew I didn't know, and I just wanted to put myself out there and put myself to the test.
So would you say that your experiences in life led you to a place where you could achieve happiness, or were you happy along the way?
Yeah, I don't have the answers to these things. No, I'm happy that my salary is enough to provide for a good life. I don't think that any of that really makes... I guess I'd be unhappy if I didn't feel financially secure.
Mm-hmm.
But even financial security doesn't really make me... I'm not happy just being financially secure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. I guess I'm thinking of something sublime here. Right now, I'm in a good spot. It's good. But am I really happy right now? No. But the sensation of joking around with my daughters is something completely different. And, I don't really get that from very much. Sometimes I get it from producing different forms of art.
How would you measure your happiness right now?
Like on a scale?
On a scale of content to overwhelming joy.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I don't know, I'm going to object to your scale a little bit, because I think that content is really good, and it's not lesser than overwhelming joy. I think that content is sometimes not better than overwhelming joy, it's just different. And as I've gotten older, I think that I've gotten more comfortable with content, that it's not bad. I thought that you needed to have a lot of stuff to do in order to be happy. I definitely made some social choices that were not good choices. I look back on them and I say that they weren't good choices because I put myself second. I didn't think about what the right thing was for me to do. I thought about what I was supposed to do, whether in the eyes of other people or in the eyes of sort of the broader college social community. And if I had my way, I wish I could go back in some cases and make those changes. But you can't, so I have to take the lessons I learned from them